Sometimes I go the whole day without speaking to anyone except my sister. In high school I was in choir, but I hated my voice so much that sometimes I just lip-synced. I could listen to everyone else. I guess I'm just trying to learn how to be audible.
You're such a beautiful freak. I wish there were more just like you. You're not like all of the others.
As a human being, I think I am wired to have thoughts, but sometimes I don't think that much about the thoughts that I have, or I don't analyze things the way that I would like to, because I don't share them.
Beautiful freak, beautiful freak.
And when you keep things to yourself, sometimes it can be helpful. A lot of times you just forget things, or they kind of fade away because you never really expand on them or explore them in greater depth.
Some people think you have a problem, but that problem lies only with them.
This is not me sharing my ideas, but this is me saying that I would like to. And that makes it sound kind of boring maybe, but maybe sometime I'll have thoughts and then I'll spit them out and you can not hopefully get spit in the face. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But I've spent a lot of time meaning to share and meaning to talk to people, meaning to make YouTube videos, meaning to do things creative, and this might not be exactly it, but this is on the way to doing what I want to do. So, here it is. Hi.
You're such a beautiful freak. I bet you're flying inside. Dark down, then go for cover. But that is why I love you. Beautiful freak, beautiful freak. Yeah, that is why I love you. Beautiful freak, beautiful freak. Too good for this world, but I hope you will stay, and I'll be here to see that you don't fade away. You're such a beautiful freak. I bet you're flying inside.
Self-Image 2013. I am 18 years old. I go to university. I live with my sister. I wake up every morning to I am the doctor. I walk to and from school most days, in the dark most mornings. I like where I live, even when I don't get out much. I love drinking tea. I love the rain at night. I love seeing movies in the theater. I'm a lot better than I expected at making food. I'm not as good at doing the dishes. I'm trying to be better at talking to people. spend most of my time by myself. Most of the time I'm okay with it. Okay, some of the time. Maybe half the time. This year I want a lot of the same old things. I want to read more, write more, think more, smile more, try more, go outside more. I want to be stronger. I want to let myself be vulnerable. I want to live up to the House of Gryffindor. I want to be a warrior, or at least do my best at playing pretend. And I want to share more. Happy 2013. When I was in middle school, my dad bought the first season of Gilmore Girls, and me and my mom and my sister started watching that, and then my dad quickly bought the rest of the other 6 seasons because we watched it so much, and my dad was working away a lot at that time, and so he would call us, and but we would be watching Gilmore Girls, so we would get these messages that were like, "Hey girls, I know you're watching Gilmore Girls, but when your episode's done, call me." One of the many things that I've been discovering as I make more videos is just how much of a difference there is between my expressions and how I'm actually feeling, and I kind of already knew that there's a pretty big gap, and a lot of the times my face can seem pretty blank and robotic. Even in my last video I was feeling really excited when I made it and really pumped and I had all this energy, and then I looked back at the footage and I was like, wait a second. That does not look as energized as I felt. Basically, I've been having like a very minor YouTube crisis recently, which is really great. I've been watching a lot of new vloggers, and so many of them are just so great, and they're so good at talking directly to a camera and just having thoughts that are interesting and eloquent on their own. And then I think of my own videos and I feel like I'm trying, just even when I'm making them, I have to like, I say a phrase and then sometimes I'll say it like 10 times because I'm trying to get it right. And that is very annoying to me. I don't have a problem with working on things and like spending time. Like, I'm okay, I like editing. I just want to be less choppy and more talky and just kind of flow. That's something that's been bothering me, just YouTube angst. I've got this inferiority complex now because I see all these people, because you know all the great big and not even big huge in subscriber count, but any YouTuber that tells you anyone should start vlogging, YouTube really isn't hard, you just gotta take out a camera and then talk to it, and you'll be bad at first, but that's okay, everyone is bad. But there are so many people that I watch and they're so not bad, and I just this is just my own issues at not being able to be immediately good at things. The third thing that I have been loving in March, and I will continue to love, is the new British television show My Mad Fat Diary. The show is based on the actual teenage diaries of a woman named Ray Earl. I haven't read it yet, but those journals have actually been published into a book, and then only now it's been turned into a TV show, and it is so good. Basically, Ray is this overweight, kind of depressed, and dealing with mental health issues teenage girl. That sounds kind of like a sad and depressing story, but it's not. It's really a complex depiction of a character who you don't get to see often on TV, and she's also just really, really funny and interesting, and this show makes me so happy. It's really refreshing to see someone who's not like the Hollywood feminine ideal on screen, and also I think especially in a teenage show, some of the plot points and like little story bits are kind of cliche, but overall the writing and the dialogue and the characters and the acting is so, so good. It just makes it all better. It's kind of one of those shows that after I first watched it, everything else felt a bit phony or a bit like crap, because you were like, no, this is it. This is what everything should be like. I still do love TV shows other than this, but I really enjoy it, and I think you will too. I hope you will. Also, they have great accents.
So what about Rev then? Mum not letting you go?
It's complicated.
It really would be shit if you don't come.
Well, the rest of the gang is still going. You're still gonna have a good time.
The rest of the gang would fall apart if you're not there. You are the gang. No, I mean that, Ray. Everyone else has got too much stuff going on. You're the most, normal, though.
That's bollocks.
It's true. Anyway, you've got to go. I won't take no for an answer because...
Because what? I don't want to come here anymore.
You're not obliged to come here, Ray. But I think that would be a bad idea. I think we're making some real progress here.
What would
and I think
happen
that...
if I walked out that door right now and never came back? Aren't you going to try and say something insightful to make me stay?
Do you think perhaps your anger is born out of frustration with yourself? That you're angry and frustrated with yourself for being ill? You see, that is not something you're entirely responsible for.
Hey, so I had one of those moments last night where I hadn't been feeling really great all day yesterday, but I was in the shower and then I was just flooded with all of these thoughts and memories of every humiliating thing that I've ever done and every kind of thing that I've ever said that has been insensitive or hurtful or generally ignorant or discriminatory. So I'm standing in the shower and trying to be relaxed and just kind of cleanse after a day of not feeling great, and instead you just get drenched in these feelings of not self-loathing but just ickiness. It's kind of agonizing when you're just stuck in this place where you just have these things that just keep coming at you. In general, I'm not super good with sharing with other people, so I'm definitely less good at sharing humiliating stories or memories that I feel like display a lot of my faults. So a lot of times when things like that have happened, I don't know if anyone else really noticed or cared, but to me they're just things that still weigh on me. When I was 6 years old, we had just moved to a new place and we were starting at a new school, and I remember being with my sister at recess one day, and she had been playing with a girl, and I guess the girl ran off or something, and I asked my sister, "Are you friends with her?" And she was like, "Yeah, I guess, yeah." And I said, "But she's fat." I was 6 years old, so that was 12 years ago, but that's still one small thing among so many others that just comes back and gets me, and In one way, I guess I realized that at least the fact that I can recognize that I've done these things that I'm not super proud of shows that I'm learning from them, I hope. They're not like terrible, terrible things, I don't want to overstate it, but just, you know, the really kind of quiet or small moments of meanness that build up and eat at you a bit. It's funny because showers are supposed to be all about cleaning and even metaphorically cleansing your soul. I don't know if that's really an important part of cleansing my soul, but I wish I didn't have to go through it so often because I don't think it's very productive. I guess it could be something to do with being naked. It's like you don't have anything to hide all of your insecurities and your faults from even yourself. You just feel like you're bare. It's ridiculous, some of the things, but I guess I just hold on to a lot of stuff and I have trouble just letting go of even small things. I felt better by the time I got out of the shower and I wrote in my journal a bit and just tried to remember the things that made me happy yesterday and things I was excited about. But I'm interested in how other people do. I imagine most people get some of these moments at least occasionally when just everything kind of bombards you at once. I'd be interested to know how other people deal with it, if it's meditation or just listening to music, just how to kind of let go of that and just be cool, just accept that you've done some things that were not the nicest or just could be just really humiliating in any way, and hopes that you can just move on and make some new humiliating mistakes, but hopefully ones, I guess, that are just a bit smarter. We hope. We hope. So let me know if you have any wisdom or just any commiserating to share about shower moments, and yeah. Okay, so I'm a mess right now, and I was actually going to shower even though it's almost 3 o'clock, but the water was all cold, so no luck. But this being a mess kind of made me want to talk about something that I've really been wanting to talk about for a while anyway. So, there. A lot of the time I think of myself as ugly, and I don't think that that's a bad thing. A lot of the time it's just something that I can accept and be cool with and get on, and I can just be okay with it. Just like a lot of overweight people don't want to be told that they're not fat, I don't want to be told that I'm not ugly. I don't want to call myself unconventionally pretty. I am happy a lot of the time to think of myself as ugly. I think ugliness only becomes a problem when you let it get in the way of your life and of living. I can't say that I've never let that happen, but it's something that I'm dealing with and I'm generally okay with. When my appearance really gets to me and I'm feeling really gross about it, I try to remember a few things. One is that I am beautiful in some way because I'm a living thing, and I think living things, to me at least, have some inherent beauty. There was an interview with Johnny Depp a long time ago, which I saw on YouTube somewhere, and I think he was asked something like, "What is your greatest turn on?" and he said, "Breathing." He might have just been saying that to be funny or whatever, but it's kind of true. There's something really sexy and really beautiful about being alive. And when you think about being alive and you put that into perspective and you just think about the smallest and the biggest thing, just breathing, prettiness seems to become so insignificant and just tiny, tiny. So one way I console myself is by reminding myself that I am beautiful because I am alive, because I am breathing, and that is amazing. Another way that I console myself or deal with it is by putting things, again, into perspective. I think about the universe, and I think about human beings as a species, and how actually ridiculous we look. Other mammals have fur, and they've got 4 legs, and they have some kind of really elegant gait, or, I mean, even cows just seem like kind of magical beings. Whereas humans are covered in hair, but you can't see most of it. You just see like stuff that comes out of their heads randomly. We've got these facial features that are just like very strange. Even when looking at beautiful people, if you look at them long enough, it just starts to look like ridiculous. To me at least, we don't have this elegance or majestic beauty as a species that lions have, or birds, or anything. When you put it into this perspective, everything just seems absurd. It's not absurd to recognize that you're not the way that a lot of other people look. It's absurd when you waste too much time on it, when you look at the perspective of being part of this kind of silly looking species on this planet, in this solar system, in this universe that is huge and contains life forms that we haven't even encountered yet and that are completely foreign to us. Think about that, and then I come back to my face in the mirror, and God, I wish I just had cheekbones or some kind of facial definition. It's tiny. Another thing that goes along with the breathing and the living is that we are living creatures, which means that we're not just alive, but we're doing things. Even when we're not consciously trying or aware of things, we're breathing. And when you actually do things other than that, when you get out and you're doing stuff, and when you're really engaged and excited in something, I feel like the last thing that I care about is how I look. I never want to get into this place where I feel like what I look like is more important than what I do. And it seems like it's a lot easier to let myself not do anything and to hold back because I don't feel that I have a certain appearance for some reason that exempts me from having to do things, or it makes me any less capable, but it doesn't. It might make it harder and it might take work on my part, but being beautiful is not an accomplishment, and being ugly doesn't have to stop you from making accomplishments. I talked about the show My Mad Fat Diary the other day, but I didn't touch on one of the main basic reasons that I really love it, because I just didn't feel I had enough time and it didn't fit in the video. But basically, that show is just this grand statement, a work of art, showing that you can be fat, or you can be ugly, or you can be whatever it is that you are, and you can still live, and you can still find happiness, and you can still be hopeful, and you can make relationships, and have friends, and have lots of fun, and be a good human being, and grow, and be happy, and do the things that you want to do. And that means a lot to me. I don't think that we get that message enough, or when we do get it, it's coming from the people who are already seen as really pretty, so it just doesn't have the same effect on me. That show has given me a lot of inspiration. There's a quote from Kristen Stewart, which I'm sure tons of other people have said, which is just, it's okay to not be okay. And I think that's one of the great things of the show, is that it lets you know that it's okay to not be okay, but also that it's okay to be okay, and that you can just be okay. You don't have to be beautiful to be okay. You don't have to be pretty to be okay. You don't have to be skinny to be okay. You don't have to have muscles to be okay. You don't have to have anything. You can just be you, and you can be okay with that. And you don't have to be okay with that all the time, and you can still struggle with it, but you can still find some kind of acceptance and love and happiness for yourself, and that is huge. The first episode of My Mad Fat Diary is just really fantastic too, because it deals with all these insecurities about her body, and you think that the character Ray is going to cave into it and she's going to relapse and just let her insecurities about her body take over, but she doesn't. and she just has fun and she laughs and she does things and she doesn't let it get in the way of her living. And that is what I think we need to be reminded of more, and what I try to remember whenever I get dragged down by the mirror, or when I notice myself watching myself from within whenever I'm out somewhere. I can be things and I can do things, and I don't have to let my body or my insecurities about it get in the way of what I really want. And sometimes I feel beautiful, and I think that's an important thing to recognize too, that whether anyone else can see me that way, that I can, and ultimately feeling beautiful or feeling ugly can feel like the same thing, as long as you don't feel like either one of them has to get in the way of what you can do and of who you can be, because they shouldn't and they don't. And that is something that I'm trying to remember always. I don't know if you knew this, but the internet is kind of weird, man. Like, actually. Yesterday was a really big day for me because I got my 20th subscriber, but something happened and I didn't even get to take a screenshot of my 20 subscribers because my world basically exploded a little bit. First, I guess I should probably introduce myself. Hi, I'm Kara. That is K-A-R-A. That's my name. If you're wondering what is happening in my life right now, I'm wondering what is happening in my life right now. Basically, a few days ago I was supposed to be studying for my philosophy exam, and I wasn't studying at all, and I didn't even shower because the water was cold. So I made a video because I had thoughts in my brain. I posted the video a few days after I actually made it, and then yesterday one of the lovely 20 people who watched my videos, Chi-Chi, who I will put links to everywhere below, she commented on my video being like, "Is it okay? I'm just gonna put this on my Facebook." And I was like, okay, I don't have Facebook, but cool, do it, thanks. I was sitting on the couch later in the evening watching Arrested Development on my computer. I go to check Tumblr and scroll down and see that Tyler Oakley has reblogged my video and my face, which is a very weird sensation, especially when you're sitting on the couch and my mom was just sitting over there reading. In my expert sleuthing, which basically consists of Chi-Chi telling me about this, she put the video in the Girls on YouTube group on Facebook, and Tessa or Mika Kitty saw it and she put it on Tumblr, and basically.
I've got blonde on blonde on my portable stereo. It's a lullaby from a giant golden radio.
So last night I went through a lot of emotions, which ranged from shocked to excited to scared and a little bit terrified and panicky and really self-conscious and worried that I should probably just like take down every embarrassing thing I've ever said on the internet. And then I came to a place of calm and coolness and acceptance and just excitedness, and actually my brain was buzzing with brain crack, so I probably didn't fall asleep till like 3 a.m. So this morning I woke up and I was very pleasantly non-surprised to find that I was in my bed as usual with my cat, and there weren't like people hiding out in my room, which seemed like it could be maybe a possibility. I ate my toast imagining a crowd of people cheering for me, but I guess that being a YouTube sensation is not the same as being on a sitcom, so. ridiculous and long-winded, but basically I wanted to respond to my own video and to clarify and talk about some of the things that I said, because I have read through a ton of comments and a lot of them get what I'm saying, and that is so great, and I love it. I'm really, yeah. There are also things because I feel like I really want to be able to express what I'm saying fully that I wanted to clarify, and that is what I am doing.
I found myself alone. Oh, where can I go? Everybody's watching me. Oh, where can I go? Everybody's watching me.
I just wanted to clarify this once and for all. When I say I am ugly, I'm not hating on myself. I know that the word ugly is generally considered to be a bad word, and it has all sorts of negative connotations and all these different things, and I definitely wouldn't go about calling other people ugly, but I've kind of taken ugly and redefined it for myself, and maybe I could have just found a different word, but I don't know if there is a word. Maybe I could make a word, or you could like suggest a word. Because what ugly means to me now, since I've decided that's what it means to me, is just an appearance that is not exactly the way that society celebrates, and that is okay. I know that ugly is subjective and beauty is subjective and it's all just these little categories that we place people in, but for me, using the word ugly and recognizing that I'm different is really refreshing and empowering, and I like it. But maybe I should have a better word, I don't know.
Everybody's watching me. Where can I go?
So, for those of you who are worried about my self-esteem, please rest assured, in the words of Abed, I have self-esteem falling out my butt.
Where can I go? Everybody's watching me. The more I want it, the more I want it. The less I'm gone, the less I know. The more I forget it, I'll be alone, I'll be alone.
Secondly, I wanted to mention that I don't have an issue with pretty people, and you shouldn't either. I don't think that I'm better than anyone else in any way just because my appearance is different. I don't think it makes me deeper. Essentially, everybody has insecurities and issues about their own things. So, pretty people, cool. Ugly people, cool. In general, people is what is most cool.
Everybody's watching me. Oh, what can I do if you're not here to tell you? Where can I go? Everybody's watching me.
I used the word beautiful in my video, and I guess there are a few meanings of beautiful, which is why it gets a little bit tricky. First definition of beauty that I think of is just extreme prettiness or symmetry or whatever it is that we celebrate in our society and we aspire to in our society as like the image of what people should look like. When I say I'm not beautiful, that is the beauty that I'm referring to, and that is fine. So maybe it would be easier to use pretty instead of beautiful there, but that's just kind of the way we've used beautiful a lot. The second definition of beauty that I think of is something very different, which has nothing to do with appearance, and it has everything to do with appreciating the universe and recognizing with awe or wonder or something that there are amazing things in this world and this universe and in people that have nothing to do with appearance. When I say that I am beautiful, that is the kind of beauty that I'm talking about, that being here at all is just amazing to me. So if I can be both ugly in a sense and beautiful in a sense, what am I getting at? What is the point of words at all? I think that ugly and beautiful in the appearance sense of the words are just these tiny, narrow little categories and words that we apply to things to make sense of them and categorize and try to do all this stuff. So I can call myself ugly and I can call myself beautiful, but most of all I can accept that I'm a little piece of a big universe and I'm not as adorable as Quvenzhané Wallis, but I am as alive and as essentially amazingly human. Human who is too big, too figuratively big, to be defined by either ugly or beautiful. I hope that clarifies a few things.
If I was beautiful like you, all the things I would do,
to some of the people in the comments who I'm sure are lovely and good people. The ones who are telling me that I really could be pretty if I just put on some makeup. I would just like to say a few things. A, I think you're kind of missing the point. And B, please stand by while I ignore your advice, possibly forever. I don't have an issue with makeup. I don't think it's a terrible thing. I think it can be an art form, it can be a way to express yourself, and I'm really glad that other people like it. Personally, I have no desire to wear makeup, and part of that is because it just makes me feel weird and not like me. Another part of that is that I actually genuinely am okay with how I am looking this way. To be honest, I don't feel the need to look any better than I do right now. Even when I'm unshowered and in my pajamas and a mess at 3 in the afternoon, I'm still okay with that. I don't know what I could say to convince you more that I am actually okay being the way I am. Even if one day I did decide to wear makeup, I don't want to ever rely on something like that to make me feel okay.
Like me, if I was beautiful like you, I would have so many friends, all fighting for my time to be next in line. So if I hurt one, I wouldn't have to make amends. But that will never be. That will never, never be. 'Cause I'm not beautiful like you. No, I'm not beautiful like you. No, I'm not beautiful like you. I'm beautiful like me. I'm beautiful like me. I'm beautiful like me.
Finally, I want to say thank you. Part of this feeling good about myself is thanks to you, and I don't want to give you too much credit because, to be honest, if I hadn't felt like I was cool and okay in the first place, it wouldn't matter how many people tell me nice things. But the fact that so many people have understood what I'm saying and that it connects to them on some level, that really means like a lot. I've read through a lot of the comments and I might have missed some because it seems I can only scroll so much, and also my wrist is genuinely like having issues right now. Thanks, Tumblr and YouTube. Reading through the comments is just like splashing through puddles of cuddles, and also less kind of frivolously, it's like connecting with people on a really real way. And thank you everyone who's being awesome in the comments and who's trying to like clarify and defend me and what I'm saying. I don't expect you to do that, and that's really nice, but thank you anyway. I'm going to be sappy and say I love you and thanks. Now I'm going to go and pretend to have a normal life. I hope you have a great day.
You're such a beautiful freak. I wish to wear gorgeous like you. You're not like all of the others. That is why I love you. Beautiful freak. Beautiful freak. That is why I love you. Beautiful freak. Beautiful freak. Some people think you have a problem, but that problem lies only with them. Just 'cause you are not like the others, but that is why I love you. Beautiful freak. Beautiful freak. That is why I love is what